The Watchtower is very good at using double arguments. You want to know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, K Fits My Life. This is part 2 of my whole series about the Love Fest convention of Jehovah's Witnesses. And this one kind of touched home to me. It touched home for me a little bit more than the other because it's something that I dealt with personally to an extent. So we're going to talk about the double argument that the Watchtower uses. And I found it really interesting when I really examined this video, when I really looked and listened to what they were saying. It was very, very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and play it and we can talk about it. All right. So here we go. Let's start. Now, as this video starts, they have the music playing, so it may be a little difficult to hear, but listen to the sound that this car's engine makes, and then just keep a mental note of the way that engine sounds in this car, and we'll return to that a little bit later, all right? Here we go.
I'm building my future with him every step that I take.
So, you gonna talk to any crew day people?
I don't think so.
Look, I know you got a part-time job lined up and you're gonna pioneer.
Yeah, so
the video production people are here. I'm sure they have part-time.
yeah, I still don't know.
Look, Dennis, you're good at it. Besides, they do corporate videos. Nothing bad. Come on, just talk to them.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right, so in my case, as anyone who may have been on my channel for a while knows, I am a professional hip-hop choreographer and dancer, and I have been for going on 20 years now. But when I was in the organization, as a teenager, I even knew then what I wanted to do for a career. I knew I wanted to be a hip-hop choreographer and dancer. I knew it then. But the organization frowned upon that. All of the elders in the organization told me that I would be taking a lot of time away from time I could be using for the organization and for Jehovah. So I didn't begin dancing professionally until I was around 25 or 26 years old. So I see what this young man is dealing with right now in this video, because it's the exact same thing that I dealt with. I wanted to do something, but I had to wrestle with whether or not doing what I really wanted to do would interfere with my time in the organization. So that was the dilemma that I faced, and this is also the dilemma that this young man in the video is facing. All right, so that's why this video touched such a chord with me. But let's continue watching and see what happens.
I hear you. Eventually you want to work part-time to pursue other passions.
Oh, well, I'd like to start part-time.
It's doable. But after you're established, after a few years of hard work and dedication, you'll be able to pick your own jobs, and you'll even get to set your own schedule.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, thanks so much for your time.
1 second, before you leave, just so you know, here's what you can make in your first year. My advice, try not to get too caught up in the sacrifice. Think about the payback.
Now, that brings us to our first double argument. He said, try not to think about the sacrifice, but think about the payoff. And I find it very interesting that the Watchtower would use that statement coming from a quote unquote worldly person. Now let's examine that statement. Try not to think about the sacrifice and concentrate on the payoff. Now, I don't believe that the Watchtower does anything without intention in these videos. And I think that was done intentionally. It's as if the Watchtower is saying, because as a Jehovah's Witness, we all know that is one of the main arguments that the Watchtower uses to keep people in the organization. They tell people, try not to think about the sacrifice you're making now, i.e., spending 90 hours a month in field service, or not getting a higher education, or not taking the job you want because it may involve too much time away from the organization, or not starting a family right now because you want to concentrate on the ministry, or not taking that blood transfusion, all these types of, or not telling someone that you were molested. But think about the payoff. And in their mind, they're saying the payoff is you will receive everlasting life in God's new system of things. But this young man, when someone that is quote unquote worldly uses the same phrase, try not to concentrate or try not to think about the sacrifice, but concentrate on the payoff. So they're telling this young man, don't think about the sacrifice you're making right now, i.e., working hard, doing something that you actually like to do. But it may be time consuming. Concentrate on the payoff. And in this case, the payoff is making more money, creating more stability for yourself, and the ability to be able to have a family and to be able to pass down things to your family, tangible things that are actually tangible, that you can say, this is what I worked for, this is what I created, and I'm going to pass this down to you. And we don't have to worry about living pillar to post because I have a great career. Really tangible things. They're saying, or this quote unquote worldly person is saying, don't think about the sacrifice, think about the payoff. So when the Watchtower uses this same sentence, it's for a good thing, but they spin it to where if a quote unquote worldly person uses this sentence, it is a bad thing. So the Watchtower effectively takes one statement and uses it as a double argument in their favor. And I think it is incredibly evil genius on their part, the way that they understand psychology and the way they are able to spin words to make people look at them in a favorable light, when in actuality, they're just being hypocrites. So let's continue. Let's keep watching the video and see what else happens.
Thanks.
Right there. Let's take a look at that for a second. Now that's pretty significant in my opinion. That is a pretty significant double argument. All right, and excuse the barking, it's my neighbor's dog. Here, the Watchtower is showing that this young man is doing what he likes to do, and they're showing his income. Now he's paying attention to his income, right? He's budgeting. He's looking at his expenses, and his income is going up. Now this is being marketed as a negative. Here we approach what I think is our second double argument. Now this young man is looking at his expenses and he's noticing an incline. And that's purportedly in this video a negative. But what's interesting to me is at this very assembly, this very convention that these people are watching this video in, something is going to happen. Something that happens at all the conventions. And it's called the expense report. So the Watchtower also pays attention to their expenses. But what's really interesting about this is when the Watchtower looks at their expenses, and if they notice a decline in their income, something completely different happens. Let's see what happens when the Watchtower notices a decrease in their income.
The governing body wanted to make you aware of the financial needs in the world field. And we are confident that with this knowledge, your appreciative hearts will move you to do what you can to support the work at hand.
Interesting.
Yes, we can honor Jehovah with our valuable things, including the financial support of true worship.
Very
Because
interesting.
we in no way want to be categorized with other organizations, religious and otherwise, that coerce their supporters to donate. However, because all of us have the privilege to donate funds, we would like to let you know something about our current situation. Then you can respond as your heart impels you. In doing the math, we found that the amount of money flowing out will be much greater than the amount of money that we have coming in at this time. Well, why is that? But for a certainty, any donations received
That's why.
do not line anyone's pockets
Of course
and
not.
are not misappropriated. They are all used in supporting theocratic endeavors worldwide.
Gotcha.
As described in Matthew 24:45 through 47, the governing body
47.
prayerfully and sincerely endeavors
Right.
to be not only the faithful slave,
Faithful.
but also the discreet slave
Oh, discreet.
in wisely managing the
Oh.
master's resources.
Gotta be discreet now.
And please, dear brothers and sisters, pray for Jehovah to help us
Yes,
to
you
be
need it.
successful in
In
being
being- yeah.
not only faithful,
Right.
but also discreet.
Yeah.
But often a member of the governing body will be heard to say, in spending Jehovah's money,
Right.
we have to be more careful
More careful.
than we are
Right.
in spending our own money.
Our own money. Gotcha.
And that is truly how we feel about the matter.
Okay. That is truly how they feel about the matter. They have to be more cautious with Jehovah's money than with their own, right? Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't think I got it. I think they're right. They're telling the truth, right? We don't need to say anything more about that. So yeah, let's continue and see what else happens. Wow. Now, let's look at that one more time. Let's look at that one more time. This is very interesting, and I want you guys to see this. Look. Now, this car, I'm a car person. I like cars. This car is a Honda Civic SI sedan. Now, anybody that knows cars knows that Hondas are one of the most reliable cars in the whole history of cars. Now, my last car before I got this newer one was a 1995 Acura Integra. And in case you didn't know, Honda makes Acuras. My Integra had almost 400,000 miles on it when it finally gave out. And I just simply got tired of fixing. I do all my own work on cars. And I said, you know what? I'm just tired of fixing this car. I'm just going to go ahead and get another one. But this is after the car had given me 400,000 miles. And I only paid $1,500 for the car. They are purporting here, in my opinion, that this young man shouldn't even strive to buy a Honda. Now, I'm not disparaging Hondas. As I said, I like Hondas. Hondas are great cars. But my point is, I don't think there is anybody that would see somebody in a Honda and say, oh my God, you balling out of control. You got a Honda. Because it's just not the car that you associate with balling out of control. But when we look at, oh boy, Tony from the liquor store, Tony from the liquor store has a Cadillac. Tony from the liquor store has a Cadillac. Now, I do associate Cadillacs with someone saying, oh, dude, you balling out of control. You got a caddy. So it's okay for the governing body to appear as if they are balling out of control. But for Jehovah's Witnesses, you can't even have a Honda. One of the most reliable cars in history. You cannot even pull up in a Honda because that is the showy display of one's means of life. Now think about this. As I said in the first part of the video, that car that those guys pulled up in was sputtering. It sounded like it was about to turn off before they even turned it off. So they're trying to tell people you should have a car like that. You shouldn't try to have a car like a Honda that is a nice car, that is a reliable car, that is a very, very, very good purchase, a wise investment purchase of a car. You shouldn't even strive to get a Honda. You should be sputtering up the street like old boy at the beginning of this video. And I know people may think I'm reaching, but I don't think I am, because I think everything that they do in these videos and as an organization is very purposeful, because I think they do a better job of indoctrinating people with subtlety than they do with just being, flat out saying what they need to say. They do it in a very subtle manner. And I think with the Watchtower being a corporation that is $1 billion organization, they could have gotten whatever car they wanted for this video. But they chose a Honda Civic for a specific purpose. And I think it's really ridiculous to try to market to some people that you can't even buy a Honda without being made to feel guilty. I mean, just think about how many people probably have a Honda Civic. And then they see this video and they think, oh, that's my car. What are they trying to say? I shouldn't have my car? I shouldn't have a Civic? Guilt. All right, so let's keep watching and see what else happens in this video.
Money. No. Wealth. Proverbs 23:4-5. Do not wear yourself out to gain wealth. Stop and show understanding. When you cast your eyes on it, it is not there. For it will surely sprout wings like an eagle and fly off into the sky.
So, another very interesting portion. Another very interesting portion. Proverbs 23. Do not wear yourself out to gain wealth. Another double argument. And this is coming from an organization whose net worth is well over $1 billion. They have so much real estate in so many different places, and they have so much money in cash that comes to them through donations. They've amassed so much wealth, but then they have the nerve to tell you not to wear yourself out to gain wealth. But what I also found interesting is in verse 6 of this same passage, it says, do not eat the food of a stingy person. Now, if you saw my last video when I was talking about how the Watchtower asks the brothers in Africa to walk a week, 2+ days to and 2+ days from the conventions, and asks them to take in boarders, and to the point where the people who are taking in these boarders have to sell their animals in order to feed them. When a pig in Africa, the part of Africa where these brothers were from, only costs $30, and in 6 to 8 months that $30 pig is worth $400. But the Watchtower can't give these people $30 to go buy a pig, so they don't have to use their own resources to feed the people that the Watchtower asks them to feed. When the Watchtower is a $1 billion+ corporation, and then they have the nerve to quote a scripture that right underneath that scripture says, do not eat the food of a stingy person, knowing that they are asking these people to surrender their own goods when they have nothing and the Watchtower has billions. There's another double argument. Hypocrisy, in my opinion. All right, so we're almost done. Let's go ahead and finish this video out.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yeah, ready.
So, you talked to anybody?
Yeah,
Learned anything good?
I did.
Well, tell me.
All right, that's enough of that. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is how they always have this young man to look toward his phone and look up something before he makes a decision. Now, I'm not telling anybody, I'm not trying to say that looking to the Bible for decisions is wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I wonder the motive, especially when you look at a Bible that has been altered the way the Watchtower's Bible has been altered. It still makes me feel like they're saying that you shouldn't trust yourself to make your own decisions in any case. And as we've seen throughout most of these videos, before they do anything, they always either pull out their phone, pull out their Bible, or pull out some type of Watchtower publication. And I think it is a way to make people become insecure with their own decision making, so that they're more malleable to the Watchtower when it comes to making a decision. But that is the end of this video. What do you guys think? Do you think that the Watchtower is in fact using double arguments? Do you think I made a viable claim here? Do you think they're trying to purport that people can't make their own decisions? Do you think the Watchtower is intentionally being disingenuous when they talk about how their funds aren't being not being used in an improper way? Just what do you think about this entire video? Tell me your comments down in the comment section. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. You can also follow me on Patreon. And as said in the opening of this video, my kfitsmylife.com website is up and running. You can check it out. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for your support, for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. All right. Peace.